Alright, so we're going to start the Wishbone Trail in a minute. We're here starting at the parking lot by the YMCA and the Westlake Village Community Park. Lots of parking here. This is the easiest place to park for the Wishbone Trail, and we're going to go find the trailhead. The Wishbone Trail is rated as easy and is about a 2.3 mile hike that starts out of the back of the Westlake Village Community Park after you walk along this path next to the baseball fields for a while to get towards the trailhead. This is where the Wishbone Trail starts. The only marker is this little sign on a rock on the ground right here. There's nothing else marking the start of the trail, but it's right here. This hike is a great place to see wildflowers in the spring in the Thousand Oaks and Westlake area, and even though it does have some uphill sections, since it's under 3 miles, it's rated as easy and it's pretty much good for all hiking skill levels. You can start to see the California poppies everywhere and some purple royal lupines all along the mountains as soon as you enter the trail, and these are going to be seen for pretty much the entire hike. Alright, so this is right at the start of the Wishbone Trail. It's not the most difficult hike. It's only about like 2.5 miles out and back. It's supposed to be a great place to see some poppies, other wildflowers after the rain in California though, so just coming here to check out some of that and do a quick hike today. You can already start to see some patches of poppies on top of the mountain there. Not the first one I've seen. I saw some more patches a little further in the distance, but I think this trail should pass by some of those, so that'll be cool to see. So yeah, from here we're already pretty high up. You have the Westlake Village Community Park over there where we started, and you can see down back over the buildings. From what I can tell, it looks like that trail is going to be the one that we're taking back, because I'm pretty sure this hike ends in a loop, but I'm not 100% sure. So most likely that's the trail that we're going to be taking back after finishing this side. I came too early in the season for the mustard flowers to be blooming, but we did see the plants along the trail, even though only the native wildflowers are in bloom. This place looks pretty amazing after all the rain we've gotten. Already over 100% of the normal for the rain season here, so lots of plants and flowers coming up around here. You can see all these lupines blooming on the side of the trail. Have some mustard starting to sprout right here. No flowers yet, but probably will be about like next month, so you can see the buds starting to come out there, and all those patches of poppies in the distance you can still see. Since we did come at the beginning of the season when the mustard plants had started to grow but weren't completely fully grown yet, the trail did get pretty narrow at some points, like along the beginning in this section and on the end when we were coming back, but it was still perfectly passable. So far, the trail's still pretty flat right now. It's going slightly up and down, but we're just on the side of this mountain, not really gaining too much elevation. There's not a lot of elevation gain in this hike, so that's why it's not the most difficult. But still, lots of great views to see here, especially in the spring. About halfway through the first part of the hike, there's a couple nice benches in the shade on the side where you can sit and enjoy the view if you want. The first part of the hike doesn't have a ton of wildflowers, at least at the time I was there, and it's mostly just a lot of native shrubs like the scrub oaks you see here, but the second part has tons of poppies and is definitely worth the walk to see. Alright, so this is the first patch of poppies that the trail seems to pass by. Lupines mixed in too. Definitely a great place to stop for some photo opportunities. We're going to keep going towards the highest point of the trail, which is right in the middle before it turns back on the loop back towards the park area. So this is officially my first hike after the drought in California is gone as of 2023, March 25th, 2023 today. The drought is not gone in all of California, but the vast majority of Southern California is completely free of drought, which is awesome to see after all this rain. A little bit after the first patch of poppies is another nice bench where you can stop and enjoy the views out over Westlake. The next big patch of poppies starts right after that bench on the first half of the trail and continues right until it loops back towards the park. At this point, you're going to come to a split in the trail at the base of a hill, and I chose to turn left up this hill on a short part of another trail for a while to get another good viewpoint over the poppies and out towards Westlake, but you can also choose to just loop back on the Wishbone Trail towards the park at this point if you want. All right, so this seems like it's one of the main peaks along this trail. Not totally sure what elevation this is at, but this isn't the end of the trail yet. It's just a peak you can stop on for some pretty cool 360-degree views. You can see straight towards the ocean in the distance right there. Got some snow-capped mountains and some green rolling mountains in the distance inland. Turning around this way, got a view over Westlake, Thousand Oaks, all that area. And somewhere around here in these mountains is actually Cobra Arch, which we did a few videos ago. Not 100% sure where, but we're somewhat close to that right now. After checking out the views from that hill, I decided to continue along this side trail off of the Wishbone Trail further inland for a little bit longer, and eventually I did turn around and go back towards the Wishbone Trail. But if you want to take this, it's a good place to see some more cool views over the wildflowers before you get further inland and the wildflower patches stop. I did see another kind of wildflower on this section of the trail that I didn't see on the main Wishbone Trail, and I don't actually know what this is, and it's not showing up any plant identifiers that I have access to, so if anyone knows what it is, feel free to comment. So this side trail that we continued on after that peak is actually called the Bowfield Trail, and I didn't finish this entire trail and ended up turning around this point because there were a lot of rattlesnake holes and we were running out of time anyway, so I went back towards the Wishbone Trail around this point to continue the loop back towards Westlake. So the Wishbone Trail does continue back into these mountains for a little bit longer. We did part of that, ended up turning around because we don't have time to finish the entire Wishbone Trail, but we're gonna go back to that peak that we stopped at to take some photos of those poppies and go back on the loop towards Westlake. So I had the wrong name for the trail that we followed up to that peak right there with all those poppies. That's actually the Bowfield Trail. We came up on the Wishbone Trail, and the Wishbone Trail right here loops back this other way straight back to Westlake Community Park. But I had the wrong name when we were up on that peak with all the poppies, so that was actually the Bowfield Trail, and this is the Wishbone Trail. At this point, we took the second half of the Wishbone Trail on the loop back towards Westlake to end the hike. All right, so we're going back on the Wishbone Trail right now. Super tall mustard starting to grow all around this trail. It's pretty narrow right now because this probably will all flower soon, but right now it's just super tall on both sides of the trail. It's still wide enough to walk through, but definitely pretty narrow on this section. So that's the end of this video for now. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed, please remember to like the video and subscribe for more videos like this in the future.